Warlords Conquest, Enemy Lines, Chapter 1, The Call to Arms. The sun rose over the kingdom of Eldoria, casting its golden rays upon the sprawling fields and majestic castle. It was a land of prosperity and peace, where the people lived in harmony. But little did they know, a storm was brewing on the horizon, threatening to engulf their world in darkness. In the heart of Eldoria, there stood a humble village called Oakshire. It was here that our story begins, with a young man named Lucas. Lucas was an ordinary villager, leading a simple life as a blacksmith's apprentice. He had dreams of becoming a great warrior, but his skills were yet to be tested. One fateful day, as Lucas was working in the forge, a group of knights rode into the village. Their armor gleamed in the sunlight, and their banners bore the emblem of a fearsome dragon. It was the mark of the Warlords, a notorious faction known for their conquests and merciless rule. The leader of the knights, Sir Richard, dismounted from his horse and addressed the villagers. "People of Oakshire," he boomed, his voice echoing through the streets. "We come with a message from Lord Arcturus, the warlord of Eldoria. He seeks recruits for his army to defend against an impending invasion. Those who prove their worth will be rewarded handsomely." The villagers exchanged worried glances, unsure of what to do. The warlords were feared and despised, but the threat of invasion was real. Lucas felt a fire ignite within him. This was his chance to prove himself, to become the warrior he had always aspired to be. Without hesitation, Lucas stepped forward, his eyes filled with determination. "I will join your army, Sir Richard," he declared, his voice steady. "I will fight to protect my home." The other villagers gasped in surprise, but Lucas paid them no mind. He had made up his mind, and nothing would deter him from his path. Sir Richard nodded approvingly and motioned for Lucas to follow him. Chapter 2, Training Grounds. Lucas found himself in the heart of the warlord's stronghold, surrounded by aspiring warriors and battle-hardened veterans. The training grounds were a flurry of activity, with the clang of swords and the shouts of instructors filling the air. It was a stark contrast to the peacefulness of his former village. Under the tutelage of Captain Marcus, a grizzled veteran with scars crisscrossing his face, Lucas began his training. He learned the art of swordsmanship, the intricacies of battle strategy, and the importance of discipline and teamwork. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, as Lucas honed his skills. He formed bonds with his fellow recruits, sharing stories of their past and dreams of the future. Among them was Amelia, a fierce and skilled archer, with fiery red hair, and Ethan, a quiet and observant warrior, with a mysterious past. Together, they formed an unlikely trio, each bringing their unique strengths to the table. As the days went by, news of the impending invasion grew more dire. Rumors spread of an enemy faction known as the Shadow Legion, led by the sinister Lord Malachi. They were ruthless and cunning, striking fear into the hearts of even the bravest warriors. Chapter 3, The Battle Begins. The day of reckoning finally arrived. The warlord's army, bolstered by new recruits like Lucas, prepared to face the Shadow Legion on the battlefield. The air was thick with tension as the two armies clashed, swords clashing and arrows flying through the air. Lucas fought with all his might, his heart pounding in his chest. The chaos of battle consumed him, but he remained focused on his mission to protect his homeland and those he cared about. Amelia's arrows found their mark, taking down enemy soldiers from a distance, while Ethan's swift and precise strikes ensured the safety of their allies. The battle raged on, each side refusing to yield. Lucas and his companions fought side by side, their trust in one another unwavering. They faced countless enemies, their blades painting the ground with the blood of their foes. But despite their valiant efforts, the warlord's army was outnumbered and outmatched. The Shadow Legion proved to be a formidable adversary, pushing them back with relentless force. The situation seemed dire, and hope began to fade. Chapter 4: The Hero's Sacrifice. In the midst of the chaos, Lucas caught sight of Lord Malachi, the embodiment of darkness and evil. He was a towering figure, his eyes filled with a malevolence that sent shivers down Lucas' spine. Without a second thought, Lucas charged towards him, fueled by a mixture of bravery and desperation. Their blades clashed, and for a moment, time stood still. Lucas fought with every ounce of strength he had, but Lord Malachi was a seasoned warrior, his skill unmatched. Blow after blow, Lucas held his ground, refusing to back down, but the battle took a tragic turn when Lord Malachi delivered a devastating blow, sending Lucas sprawling to the ground. Pain shot through his body, but he refused to give in. With one final act of defiance, Lucas raised his sword and struck Lord Malachi with all his remaining strength. The impact sent Lord Malachi